Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome to last week's review. This is the show where I go through what I did last week with regards to my football antics. So when I do my game week football betting slips, I'll also go through my Premier League side, my Fantasy Premier League side, and this is a review on the team that I chose. Next we hit Superbru. Superbru is a predicting game. It's a free predicting game where you and friends basically go through and you try and predict what the outcome scores are going to be, and there are prizes and that kind of thing with regards to being able to get them right, but it's exceptionally difficult and requires quite a bit of skill and mostly luck. And then lastly we go through my betting slips from last week. We see how I did, and anything that I might be able to improve on for next time. So just a bit of clarification. So when I was initially stating what my schedule would be, I said that I would be putting these reviews on Tuesdays. I've kind of come to realize that that might not be 100% possible, because I like to kind of keep it in line with Premier League game weeks, and for the foreseeable future, game weeks will be only finishing on Monday evenings. So in order to kind of keep it in line with that, I will be changing the review date from Tuesday to Wednesday. So moving on with the show, we're on to my Fantasy Premier League side, and yeah, I didn't do terribly. I mean, 1.9 million out of 6.2 million is not terrible. I know that I have a few friends who did significantly worse than I did, but I also know quite a few who did significantly better. I think for me, probably my two biggest problems was I took out Sterling and I put in Son just so I could have an extra body for this week. For next week, next game week, I will be taking him out. I've got money in the bank. I'm going to put Sterling back to my side. I also put Rudiger in as well, and I took out Schmeichel for Casilla, and unfortunately neither of them played, so therefore my Obafemi and Casilla didn't get me points. It's unfortunate, but we live and we learn. Still 57 points for this game week, not the worst thing. It's not the worst I've ever had. So just so you guys are aware, I have started a Peanut Gallery Fantasy League. If you would like to join, the link is down below where you can follow and you should be able to join. I'll also put the code down below as well if you'd like to join that way. So next is Superbru, and I actually did very well in Superbru this week. Since it's the first week, you can see that out of the 67,000 people in the world that are currently playing the Premier League Predictor, I actually got 1,794 with regards to my points. I'm very happy with that. Yeah, so just to run through, just for future as well, I won't be ever showing what my picks are for Superbru just going forward. I'll only be showing my what the results are of the picks that I made. That's just a personal preference. If I ever become like worldwide known on Superbru and I do so well that I garner a lot of recognition, then maybe I'll do tips and stuff like that, but I mean that is very unlikely. So going forward, I'll just be doing the results of what I picked. And so for this week, so the Arsenal Fulham game, I said Arsenal would win 2-0. They ended up winning 3-0. Most of the community picked that as a right result. Crystal Palace Southampton was pretty divided between the community. I said it would be a 1-1 draw, which actually seems to be the more popular pick. It was a bit of an upset where Palace ended up picking out a 1-0 win. Then on Liverpool Leeds, I said Liverpool would win 1-0, and whilst I got the result right and the goal difference right, I was so far off with the amount of goals scored. It was a very predictable game though that Liverpool could win. For West Ham Newcastle, I guessed it exactly right. I said it would be 2-0 and it was. Apparently there was an upset. I don't think it was too much of an upset. I do think that Newcastle this season are looking a lot better than West Ham. And then also with Leicester versus West Brom, I correctly predicted that Leicester would win. I said there would be 3 goals, but I thought it would be 2-1, not 3-0. But that's the way it goes. Then probably the biggest upset of the week is Everton ended up coming out on top of Spurs. I thought it would be a 1-1 draw, and this was a pretty major upset. On Monday, I correctly guessed that Wolves would win 2-0 over Sheffield. It was pretty even. A lot of people thought this would be a draw. I personally think that Sheffield are going to struggle quite a lot compared to last season. And then the last game of the game week, I said Chelsea would win 2-1. They ended up winning 3-1, but it was pretty predictable. Overall, out of the 8 games, I correctly guessed 6 out of the 8 game outcomes, and I actually correctly guessed exactly what the scores would be 2 out of 8. That's not a bad result. As you can see, a lot of people struggled. I mean, in South Africa, I'm in the top 1,000. I'm very happy with it. Again, I've created a league or pool for the Peanut Gallery. If you guys would like to join and test your skills against me or try and prove me wrong every week, please come and join. It's free for everyone. There's no prizes or anything. So yeah, just come and join. So then lastly, we're going to be looking at my betting slips. And the first 2 we are going to look at are my win slips. As you can see, I came out favorably for both of them. For my week's win slip, I only had 1 match on there, and that was Belgium to beat Iceland, which they did 5-1. And then my weekend win slip, I had Liverpool over Leeds, which they did 4-3, and Ajax over Sparta Rotterdam, which they did 1-0. That was a bit of a close game because Ajax ended up getting a red card, and they still ended up winning and scoring when they were down to 10 men, so got a little bit lucky there, I think. Then onto my double chance slip. As you can see, not so lucky with my double chance slip. For my week's double chance slip, I was doing so well. I did very well all the way through the internationals, but somehow PSG lost to Lens. That ended up destroying my whole slip for the week. And then my weekend betting slip, out of my 12, I got 10 right. The only 2 I got wrong was Southend, which I got horribly wrong. It wasn't 0-0. Actually ended up, I think, 4-0 to Harrogate. And also Nice versus Montpellier. Yeah, that one was quite risky. It was a big multiplier with regards to double chances. So you live and you learn. I probably would still take that bet again because I think it's still worth the shot. Then on my Premier League betting slip, as you can see, not successful, but I'm actually very annoyed with this one. So this weekend's Premier League betting slip, I actually got 7 out of 8. I was doing so well. I predicted a bit of an upset with regards to Palace over Southampton. I even predicted the upset of Newcastle winning away, but I didn't predict the upset that Everton would end up beating Spurs. I thought Mourinho would do better than that. It was one of the more convincing odds of, yeah, no, Spurs will at least get a draw in this game, and they didn't, and I'm annoyed with it. Now with my 2 outside betting slips, for the week I said that Belgium versus Iceland there would be 5 or more goals, and I was correct, they were actually 6. And with my weekend, I wasn't so good. In fact, I was so far off. I said Liverpool versus Leeds would be 1 or less goals, and yeah, 7 goals later, I had a bit of a foot in my mouth after that game. So that leaves us with a grand total of 14 cents profit from the week's bets. It is a little unfortunate. I unfortunately had a couple which just slipped out of my hands, namely the Premier League one. It was looking good for so long, and then that Spurs game really shot me in the foot. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it goes. Still, I kind of made my money back. That's all we're really aiming for here. I can't ask for too much more, and I just hope that I potentially have better luck next time. Anyway guys, that's the end of this review. What do you think? how were my Premier League picks for my fantasy side and my Superbru. Is there anything different that you might be able to suggest for my betting slips? I mean, I've got ideas, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be going through with them now. Let's see if my thought process will work out in the long run and rather just using a week's worth of data to work with. Let me know in the comment section down below. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Don't hit the bell, it's not worth it. I'll be posting these on social media as well if you want to follow me. And yeah, I'll see you guys around.